now, in a story that was about Cody and Randy, it is now about Pat McAfee.
Yes, it
And
was a
not
story that was
because
written
us
20
talking
years
about
ago
it, it's
in
because
itself.
Pat McAfee comes out and the story now says it's about Pat McAfee. Well, Dylan, there was a lot of questioning and confusion about what that weird little 3-second video was that played on Monday Night Raw. I believe it was, and it seemed like it looked like to be Liv Morgan. People heard Liv Morgan's laugh in the background. Well, it turns out Liv Morgan is entering, I guess, the music industry because she dropped a music video and new song today at time of recording this.
Interesting.
Trouble by Liv Morgan.
All right.
So you guys could go out and listen to that if you want to, and you can drop a comment and let us know what you think about it. Maybe she comes out to that at WrestleMania. I'm not sure, but it was interesting nonetheless to see. I don't know if this is going to launch a full-blown music career, or if this is just something she did in character. Who knows? But Dylan, got a couple of days for WrestleMania, the biggest event of the year. So,
yeah, man, the granddaddy of them all.
Before we get into each match specifically, why don't you let me know your thoughts on WrestleMania 42 as a whole, overall, your excitement level, how you think this feuds have been building. Lay it on me thick.
So I'll tell you this. This is definitely, unfortunately, and it could just partially be to where I'm at in my life.
Okay.
This is the least excited I've been for WrestleMania in a while.
Sure.
Probably since I think I was more excited for WrestleMania 38 through 41.
Okay.
So 38, 39, 40, 41, which I think was a pretty strong stretch.
It was a good run
of Manias. 38 being, I'd say 39 and 40 being the strongest for sure. 39 and 40 was a pretty great back to back.
Yeah.
And then last year was, I think it left us with a weird taste in our mouth, but at the same time, Cena got 17. There was there was big moments. You had the Seth winning in the main event of the triple threat was a huge with the Heyman turn. And then 38, you had Cody coming back. And then I guess that's when Roman technically became double champ. So there's some pretty like big moments. And anyway, all that being said, on paper, this card can easily stack up with any of those events, in my opinion. There's a couple like duds on this card, maybe not complete duds, but like there's always going to be a couple matches that you're not super over the moon excited for. But like I said, that happens on every single WrestleMania card. Like that's there's always going to be a handful of matches. I mean, WrestleMania 38, the one I just mentioned, I'm pretty sure that's the one that had Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville. So like there's a handful of oh, and then of course 38 was also when Stone Cold came back. So that was a great Mania. Anyway, like I said, but that's an example. We had Stone Cold, we had the Cody return, but then you also have Sami versus Johnny Knoxville. So there's which, if I do remember correctly, wasn't all that unentertaining of a match. I think it was fun.
It was fun.
It was just Johnny Knoxville on WrestleMania.
Zayn
Yeah, it was just
versus Johnny Knoxville.
So anyway, we don't have to go too far into that. That's years in the past now. But with that being said, like what I'm trying to get to is that this card can stack up with a lot of those cards, in my opinion.
At least on paper.
And there's a lot of things to be excited for. There's a lot of new stars kind of making a potential breakout appearance, or they have the opportunity for a breakout moment. Um, so it's going to be really interesting. With that being said, I think the build, along with shoving Pat McAfee down our throats,
And Jelly
as
Roll.
the right as it approaches with potentially the in potential in one of the two biggest storylines on the card, definitely puts like a sour taste in your mouth going into it.
Big
Um,
eye roll.
yeah, big eye roll. But with that being said, if you just look at the match card on paper and ignore Pat McAfee,
Hard to do.
which is really hard to
Hard
do.
to
Like I
do.
said, we're not going to be able to ignore Pat McAfee. But as far as match quality and entertainment value, there's a ton of potential with the card. So I'm not like, it's weird. I'm not too disappointed with the way the card turned out. Um, as far as obviously besides like Pat McAfee being involved in this storyline, but like let's like other than that, even though that's a big that, um, like the way the card played out is really not bad at all. It's a
Mm-hmm.
really solid card, but when you really get into the nitty gritty of things, the build has been awfully weird in a lot of different stories. It's been
Mm-hmm.
rushed. It's been awkward for a lot of different stories. So we'll get into it. I'm not trying to shit on it too much because at the end of the day, it is WrestleMania season. I'm excited. Um, I will say, dude, I'm bummed that they took Stand and Deliver out of WrestleMania weekend.
Okay.
Um, I understand, like ticket wise and event wise. Like I understand like that it just seems like it was too much of a thing to just like do that on the same day as WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was also like, I mean, we saw it like we literally it was cheaper for us to buy a combo ticket
Yeah.
to SmackDown, Raw, and
NXT.
NXT than
Stand and
it would have.
delivered.
Yeah, than it would have been to just buy SmackDown and Raw separately. Like when
Mm-hmm.
we went.
They're
Um,
practically paying us to go.
yeah, essentially they were. Yeah, they were like, we'll give you a discount if you go to Stand and Deliver as well. Which we were like, yeah. I mean, I guess we'll
Yeah.
do that.
And it was
But
awesome.
yeah, it was awesome. We saw Trick vs. Mello. We saw.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember that Obafemi, Dijak, and who else was it? Was it Josh Briggs?
I think it was.
It was a triple threat, and it was really good.
It was
It was
awesome.
three. It was
It
three
was.
beefy ass dudes.
It was awesome.
Um. Anyway, um. Yeah, it was. With that being said, that was just a little side note. I enjoyed watching Stand and Deliver on a Saturday afternoon going into WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
But I like understand it from a ticket perspective, and it's just like a whatever hard to do. Um,
Well,
they
speaking
could.
of discounts, they
Well, yeah, let's get into that, I guess.
WrestleMania night one, thanks to Pat McAfee, up until well, by the time this is out, the discount will be done. But they offered 25% off all tickets from Friday Night SmackDown up until the end of Monday Night Raw for night one of WrestleMania. That should tell you a lot about how things are going in WWE with ticket sales in regards to WrestleMania night one. Also, very weird to have the person that we are supposed to hate the most in WWE be the person to give that to us. That was odd. That was odd. So yeah, WrestleMania tickets probably for the first time ever. I feel like that has to be a first where they just went on sale not like an hour before the show. Like they usually sell out pretty fast. I can't imagine they had to put a discount on ticket sales or ticket prices in the past. So
I'd say it's probably the first time in a while. I mean, they've never been having this much obvious trouble selling tickets to a
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania in a long time.
Yeah.
Um, which hopefully they'll learn their lesson with doing it the same place 2 years in a row now.
Yeah.
Specifically in a place like that.
In a
Or
tourist
they're
city.
not going to learn their lesson and they're just going to start doing it in Saudi Arabia every year.
Don't even
um,
put that out there.
yeah. Anyway, let's get into this card, Mark, because at the end of the day, it is WrestleMania, and I am very excited. Um,
Sure, sure,
you know what I
sure.
mean? There's some great things, there's some not so great things, but overall, it is WrestleMania, and it's something to be excited about. So let's get into these predictions.
Yeah, so we are recording this prior to the go home episode of Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. So if for some reason a match gets added on Raw or SmackDown, we don't know about it. Maybe they add one more match. We talked about it on last week's episode about there being reports that they potentially add Io versus Asuka. So if they do, we don't know about it. That's why we're not talking about it. So we're going to go in order, Dillman. So, first up, this is one of the matches that will be free on ESPN during the first hour. Speaking of ticket sales, that is LA Knight and the Usos taking on I Show Speed and the Vision. Dill, who's winning this match in I Show Speed's WWE wrestling debut?
Uh, yeah, definitely got to give this one to the Usos and LA Knight. I would say this
Yeah.
definitely is probably gonna. I'd say this match probably locks in a rematch either the next night on Raw, where the Usos can potentially win these tag titles back, or at Backlash with the Vision.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I'd expect an Usos and LA Knight win here, and then that sets up another tag title match. Even though I guess they don't really need to do a bunch else to set it up, but
Santa
um,
Claus.
yeah. So, but with that being said, yeah, I'm definitely taking the Usos and LA Knight. Um, I definitely think, especially in a match like this, in my opinion, that doesn't hold a ton of weight uh, in which way it goes. Like, I don't think, as far as the story's concerned, I don't think it's going to have a massive effect one way or another. I think they'll very easily move into what they want to do next, which is probably the Usos and Vision rematch for the titles, regardless of how this plays out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when that can be like such the easy option on a card like WrestleMania, feels like you got to give the baby faces the win. So yeah, I'm gonna go with them.
Yeah. I'm with you here, Dylan. It kind of just feels like, in a sense, that the Vision has kind of been getting the better for the most part of the Usos and almost everybody on Monday Night Raw. So I think you give, like you said, the win on the big stage to the baby faces being LA Knight and the Usos. Interesting to debut a new
Especially
song.
when there's such big like people on the roster in not such a big spot on WrestleMania. So it
Yeah.
feels like you got to get my win.
Yeah. Exactly. And especially during the hour free portion on ESPN. So let's move on to the next match, Dylan. This is one I'm quite excited for, especially after Friday Night SmackDown, and that is
Oh
the
wait, I'm sorry. You mentioned it really quick before we moved on, and I didn't. And I was like talking over you, but yeah, the Usos changing their song, definitely interesting choice.
heading
Um,
into right before WrestleMania.
why didn't they just go back to their old song?
Ah,
They think it's the same one.
beats me.
I think maybe they just don't want.
People
I
yeeting?
Not that. I think they don't want. I think they want that to be the J song, and I think that is. I don't. I'm not saying it's good reasoning because it literally is the same song that was their tag team song. Um, but I think they just want that to be the J song, and I think that they're like. I think that they're going to tag together and stuff like that, like on and off. here and there, but I don't think the Jay singles run is done by any means. Like I think he'll still
Okay.
go singles on and off, and that's why they kind of want to keep it and probably give them something that's just separate from the Jay. Like you said, very interesting. I don't think it was necessary. I think they could have just done it. Went back to the OG song. Could have still been eating.
Yeah.
Just been saying, down since day one ish. Down since
Hey.
day one ish.
Oh.
Rip it down since.
Hey.
Like that's better than just me, Oos. Like that one, like the original tag version is a better version anyway.
Yeah.
So we don't have to spend a ton of time on it. You brought it up, so I had to make sure that I acknowledged that you said it because you were 100% right.
Thank you for acknowledging me. All right. Unsanctioned match, Dylan. Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu.
Yeah,
Drew
man.
McIntyre had an awesome little video package in a prison cell, and it was great. And I'll tell you what, although this is kind of one of their shorter-ish kind of feuds that have been getting built, depending on how you look at it. Obviously, there's been history, but really the singles match has been getting pushed for not too long. Quickly gotten very excited for this match, and this is one that could steal the show.
Yeah, no doubt. It's going to be an absolute banger. These dudes are going to beat the hell out of each other. Unsanctioned, going to get plenty of weapons involved. I say there's going to get some blood involved.
Already got
because-
some blood.
Yeah, because because these are two dudes that are not afraid to bleed either. Jacob Fatu is a wild dude who has been in some crazy matches in his time on the Indies. So I would not at all be surprised if this went crazy. But
And it feels like it has to.
yeah, agreed. I mean, they're already going crazy, so it feels like you got to step it up once the time actually comes.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as it pains me to really make a choice in this match because I would love if both of these men could win at WrestleMania this year.
I'm happy either way.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy either way. But my pick is gonna be Jacob.
Okay.
I think he benefits from the win a little bit more than Drew.
Yeah.
Just considering Drew was just champion recently, I think Drew has pretty much cemented himself as just always being a main event player who you can put in a main event storyline at any time and not bat an eye. And I think we're trying. Yeah, unfortunately. But he did get that win, which, like I said, as short as it was, I think it really does do something to reestablish that Drew McIntyre can win the title. Like, we've seen him win the title. Like, let's not forget that he can win the title. I think it's something because it was easy to just be like, oh, if it's a storyline to do with Drew, he's not going to win. So I think they needed to at least do something where they're like, all right, well, it needs to be that he can win at least sometimes. Anyway, with all that being said, yeah, I'm picking Jacob. I just think he benefits a little bit more from the win. And I'd be really interested to see what they do with Jacob following this. I think we can get into it later on into the card, but I'd be really interested to see if we were to get a Randy Orton win, therefore a heel champion, and if Cody was to then take a little bit of time off TV, as one usually is normal for one to do after losing the title in a big event, a star like Cody, I wonder if they would start a mini feud with little Jacob Fatu. I think that's an interesting place to go, especially if he gets a win over Drew and if Randy's champion. Just to establish Fatu as like a main event caliber guy. Anyway, who you got?
I also have Jacob Fatu.
Cool.
I think when you think about it, like I kind of said, Drew McIntyre gets put in these big storylines as like a main event caliber-esque storyline. And it just feels like he does a lot of losing in these situations. But also, when you think about it, it's an unsanctioned match. It's not it's not going to be on the record. So Jacob wins. Drew easily says, "You never beat me. It's not it's not in their record books because it was unsanctioned. It's easier for the heel to use that as an excuse in an unsanctioned match. So I feel pretty confident Jacob's going to win, especially
I like it.
during a match of this caliber at WrestleMania in a hot storyline. So, Dylan, now the hour is up. We are starting exclusively on ESPN, I guess, Unlimited. And so, the women's tag team titles are on the line, Dylan. And you've got your champions, the Irresistible Forces, Lash Legend and Nia Jax, taking on Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, and the Bella Twins. So, who's coming out on top of this match?
Uh, yeah, I guess I don't know if the status of Nikki Bella is still up in the air or if she'll be. I assume if they're announcing it at this point and haven't pulled it, I mean, tonight would be the night to do it on Raw to make an adjustment. So if they are going to make an adjustment, I guess we'll see it happen tonight on Raw, probably. But let's go into it thinking that like this is just the match, and if that is the case, then I've got the Bella Twins. It feels, it just feels like I would be completely shocked if the Bella Twins are in this match and didn't win. Feels like the type of thing that the Bella Twins literally just came out of retirement because they're like, oh shit, there's tag titles that we could have won if we were around when they existed. So, I mean, the Bella Twins probably one of the most. They're at least just like the most recognizable pair of women in a team. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I think you at least have to give them a run with the tag titles. As as much as I'd love other people to win this match, I think it like I'm not like too mad if the Bella Twins win. I think it realistically they should be in the history books as a set of tag champs. So
Yeah, I mean, and if you like try to think about like actual women's tag teams that are not just two stars thrown together, that were actually like a women's tag team, like at least the Bella Twins were an actual tag team like coming up, and then it's like them
and
then
they
you had,
were that when there was no women's tag team division at
yeah,
least. So I don't know. It's like yeah.
they're like a tag team. They're an actual
Yeah.
tag team, not two people
So
thrown together to go after the tag titles.
yeah, it feels like you gotta give them a run with the titles, especially if Bree came back. Like it's like if Bree's gonna come back to not win the titles.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I don't know. I don't really care for this Bayley and Lyra storyline. I don't really know what they're doing with that.
Bro, they fully I'm 100% positive that they were going to turn Bayley heel and then they just decided to not do it anymore and they didn't know what to do. We'll see if they have plans. Maybe this will finally lead to maybe they like don't get the win here and then we get a Bayley turn. But Bayley needs to turn. She needs to turn heel.
She's got to do something. And the same thing with like Alexa and Charlotte. It's like there was like this will they
Yeah,
won't
Charlotte
they
needs
turn
to
on
turn.
each other.
Charlotte needs to turn.
It's just like I don't know. They've this whole Bayley thing. They had, like you said, they had that weird thing where like Bayley was just kind of acting like a bit of like a nut job,
And they
and
just
then
went away from it completely.
yeah, and then it was like, all right, both of these stories have been going on for far too long. But who knows if they're going to actually put time and dedication into the women's tag team division, then they can keep them as a team, but just put some more effort into these stories, right? So
Yeah.
we'll have to see. Obviously, I'm very excited for Lash Legend to get on the
Yeah, her
WrestleMania
first
card.
WrestleMania.
She is awesome. So our next match, Dylan, is the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Your champion AJ Lee is defending her title against the man, Becky Lynch, who leaves WrestleMania 42 as your Intercontinental Champion, Dylan.
This one's tough, man, because this one could really go either way.
Mm-hmm.
Because the big thing is, an AJ win feels super obvious, right?
Sure.
To me, at least. But then it's also at the same time, it's like, it's like Man, this company loves Becky Lynch, and I'm rightfully so.
Rightfully
Um,
so.
and it's tough. I'm gonna go with AJ though. I think it's AJ's
Okay.
first WrestleMania back, her first big singles match back, really. Um, at Mania, I think AJ, and this storyline's been going on for a really long time. To me, it kind of feels like if Becky wins, I don't know even where it goes back from here. Like it feels like maybe, um, yeah, I think Becky can move on, maybe get back into the main title picture for a little bit, um, and I think AJ gets the win here. A feel good moment for AJ's WrestleMania return.
So I'm going Becky Lynch here.
Cool,
Um,
interesting. Yeah, no, I don't hate the pick at all. I could definitely see it.
yeah, it just feels like I don't know. Becky's just been kind of getting dominated in this story, and I feel like you said, they love Becky Lynch, and obviously, I think her getting a big win, probably dirty, over AJ Lee at WrestleMania. Um, but again, I don't know what either woman really does from here. Like, who's their next challenger, or who they will challenge
I think
next.
we can at least get a string. I go AJ because I think we can at least get a string of like her being like a fighting champion, maybe doing some open challenges, and then we have some young heels, like some young up and coming heels that can go after her. Um, to whereas Becky, we've already feels like we've ran through a ton of people already, so I just don't know where they go. But like you said, I wouldn't be shocked at all if Becky wins.
Well, and I can also see them going straight to, if Liv Morgan wins the title and AJ loses, AJ
Ooh,
versus Liv Morgan
yeah, that's true.
would be a lot of fun as a match. But yeah, that one goes either way. So let's move on to the next match, and that is Seth Rollins versus Gunther. I'm going to assume Gunther has told us why it is personal between him and Seth Rollins on Raw tonight for us. That's
Yeah,
already happened. Uh, Interesting little backstage segment because Paul Heyman didn't even know that Gunther was going to do
yeah.
that.
Paul Heyman says he doesn't have anything to do with this,
Gunther said it's personal between me and Seth.
and he says you owe. He says I owe you one, and he says yes you do.
A big one.
That's what Gunther says.
He says,
Uh,
you owe
so
me a big one.
so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Um, it's got to be Gunther here, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
um, Seth got a big win at last year's WrestleMania. Gunther has had two pretty big losses at the last two WrestleManias.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Gunther has a WrestleMania win at this. Oh, he does. He does. Because he defended his IC title. Um, in that triple threat that was a major match. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I think this is yeah, and with it all being like as it's all kind of shaped out, I really don't hate this call at all. Like it's two dudes that need to be on the card.
Mm-hmm.
Um and it's like it obviously wasn't the first choice. Lots of injuries kind of put us in this position, but the end result is it's two dudes that are giant stars that need to be on this card that can easily go put on a match of the year contender. The match is going to be insane. And if any guys can build a little bit of a story in a few weeks, you got to be able to trust two top guys like this to do it. And I also think they've put themselves into a situation where the result is very okay for both parties. Like, I think Seth can very easily withstand a loss from Gunther here. And I think Gunther benefits in a pretty big way from beating Seth here rather than not being on the card. Like
Mm-hmm.
if the option is Gunther beats Seth or he's not on the card, like beating Seth is way better for Gunther. So and I don't think the Gunther loss is like bad for Seth. I think it's not like Gunther caught him off guard these last 2 weeks. It's not something Seth was mentally prepared for at all. So it'll be
I mean, it's the man who
as
retired the GOAT and another person who's like one of the best to ever do it in AJ
Yeah,
Styles.
yeah, and it's like kind of like Seth is kind of in this new sort of gatekeeper role. I think similar to AJ and John Cena. So even though it's not, for his career or anything like that, thank God.
Yeah.
Um, it's it's I don't think it's like the worst pivot by any means. I think there's been situations they've been in where they've made a way worse pivot than they did
Mm-hmm.
with this. And
Yeah.
it's
I
like
mean,
as it's settled in, I've been like, dude, we're getting Seth and Gunther at Mania, and Gunther's probably gonna win. And that's coming from like a diehard Seth fan, and Gunther's going to win probably, and I'm very okay with it. So it's like if that's the situation we're in, then I'm 100% cool with that. Um, so
and
I got Gunther.
you got to imagine. I mean, these are two of the top six wrestlers in the world. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
they got to be on the card, and then they're facing each other. Come on now, it's gonna be
That's
awesome.
the other thing. Yeah, it's like, and there's so many worse things they could have done as a pivot. Like these dudes are gonna tear the house down.
Yeah. I have Gunther as well. I know you just talked about his two WrestleMania losses, but it is very rare that Gunther loses, and
And the fact that he's lost at those last two WrestleManias is like
yeah,
they need to they need to get him back in the win column.
oh for sure.
And with Seth winning in the main event last year, I think it's like very much a situation where, and it's like they're just gonna move on from this story probably after WrestleMania, and that's fine. And it's
Mm-hmm.
neither man is going to be drastically or and like drastically affected by the outcome. We're essentially just getting a really sick match um, with a, and they're doing their best to give us a little bit of a story, and we'll see what Gunther says tonight on Raw. Um, and there's a chance that Gunther could make a lot of sense and make us a lot more invested in this. So who knows?
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm very excited to hear what his reason is for why it's
There's also a chance
personal.
it could make zero sense, and then in that case, we just got to be like, ah, well, it's Seth versus Gunther.
Whatever.
AEW mindset.
Yeah,
Just a banger of
exactly.
a match.
Exactly. All right, Dylan. Let's move on to the Women's World Championship match, and that is your champion Stephanie Vaquer defending her title against Liv Morgan. Watch me, Dylan. Who is winning this match?
It's got to be Liv Morgan, man. It's got to be, as much as I love Stephanie Vaquer, and I think she's done an incredible job at holding her own and being an incredibly presentable and strong champion in this feud thus far. Um, Especially when the case is she's going up against someone who's now been in this spot for a few years now in Liv, with to where Steph hasn't even been on the main roster for a year. Um, so it's someone that it challenges Stephanie right away to be able to hold her own in this high marquee match, which I think she's done. Um, while also English not being her first language is like I think along with the fact that um, not only is it up against Liv, who's like I said, been in the spot for a few years, and it's someone who's very much established themselves as a top star now, a Royal Rumble win. Um, it just happens, so she's got all the momentum in the world, and she on top of it, she's got the Judgment Day. So it's very much like Steph really has to pick up the ball and run with it here to be a presentable fighting champion um, with very little experience on TV to prepare her to do it. And I think she's done awesome with it. So I'm really excited for this match. With all that being said, it's got to be Liv. Liv has to win this match. It feels like we've almost been in my opinion, as much as I hate to say it, feels like we've been in a waiting game to just get this title back on Liv for a while now. So it's
Interesting.
been like since Liv has returned to me, it's been like we're just waiting for her to win. Like it's gonna happen. And it makes sense that they have her win the Rumble, get a big career moment for her, another notch on the belt. Um, to add to the list of career achievements, and then she can go into WrestleMania and get this done. So yeah, I definitely got Liv. I would be shocked if Liv Morgan does not win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking Liv Morgan too. It is interesting if you look at the trajectory of Stephanie because, man, when she got called up, scorching hot, and then it was like, once she won the title, it's like, all right, WWE just slammed on the brakes and didn't really give her a ton to do, and like,
Feels like
not.
maybe they had this in mind and they just like didn't know what to do until this got going.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, it's very weird. I wouldn't be like super shocked. I would be a little surprised if Steph won, just because I know, like, we know how highly WWE views Steph. But, like, I don't know. I think I also talked myself into it based off of, like, AJ Lee losing her match against Becky, and then having a heel champ kind of opens up some new doors for the baby faces on Monday Night Raw to challenge for that title, right? Like, you can go Io, you can go back to Rhea versus Liv. Like, you can throw Raquel in there as the baby face for whenever that's going to happen, because that will happen. So I think like Liv Morgan kind of opens up a ton of different avenues that they can go down with the Women's World Championship. So let's move on, Dylan, to the main events of night one, the undisputed WWE Championship match. You have Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton with Pat McAfee. Yeah, we talked about it a lot last week with Pat getting involved. We watched Friday Night SmackDown, which was not the best episode of Friday Night SmackDown that we have seen in quite some time. On Cage Match, it was at a 1.3 out of 10. And I knew Jelly Roll was going to get involved, obviously, with Pat McAfee getting involved. Jelly Roll is probably going to be in Cody Rhodes' corner. Pat McAfee with a terrible, terrible, terrible segment on Friday Night SmackDown this past week. Man, he talked a lot and said very little. And why he gets different rules than actual wrestlers, with dropping a ton of curse words, flipping off the crowd that the camera has to try to cut around. And I'm sure you noticed this too, but also, like, you can tell when wrestlers, especially with the heels, they don't really know what they're doing on the mic, because they try to be like that annoying heel, but they're not like letting the babyface talk. And it's like, you just have to know when to say something or when to not. And it's like, even with like Cody saying something, or like Cody like giving the segment a moment to breathe, like Pat will just like mumble something, and it was very annoying. And then you could even see like when Pat was responding to something Cody said, he got like way too close to him, and I think it was like a camera thing, and you could just see Cody just like tell him to like back up. So yeah, and it's like, you could try to make the argument that like us hating on Pat McAfee means he's doing a good job as a heel, but it's not, right? Like, you have like, if you look at true heels that like that you're not happy to boo, it's kind of different than like what heels are now. But like, Pat McAfee is just like annoying, and not in a good way, like not in a wrestling like
Yeah, I don't
heel.
want to see him lose. I don't want to see him at all. Like that's
Yeah,
the thing. A good heel is someone you want to see lose.
yeah,
A a
exactly.
a a bad heel is someone you do not want to see at all.
Yeah,
And that's what he is.
yeah. And then it was like, I said it earlier, but it was weird um to have him be the one to be like, hey, you got a 25%
Yeah,
discount on tickets
after flipping everybody off and cursing 5 times, and
as the heel, and people then just cheer. Like, that's just not very good.
I don't know. Did you see Damian Priest talking about Pat?
I thought I saw a quote. I didn't know like
Yeah, I
if it
just
was
saw the
real or
clip of
not.
him talking about it, where he was just like, essentially, Priest was like, I'm at a spot in my like career where I'm like comfortable enough to like say my real opinion, I guess, on it. But he was just like, it just like pisses a lot of people off, and it feels really unnecessary. He was like in a match like Cody and Randy, um, and he was like, and then on top of it, he was like, he gets to come out there and just say whatever he wants. He gets to curse a bunch, and Priest was essentially like, the amount of storylines and stuff that would be able to benefit from just using one curse word in a promo,
Yeah,
or something like that, but they're not able to. And but Pat, who's not a real wrestler, he's not there. He just comes in and gets to do whatever he wants because he's famous, I guess. Like, um,
very
it
Rock esque.
yeah, and it's bullshit. And there's a good chance that The Rock might even get involved in this, because
Oh, he's getting involved.
Nick Aldis said he got the call from higher up or whatever. So
He's getting involved, Dylan.
who knows? Maybe we're getting Rock versus Cody at Mania 43 in Saudi
God,
Arabia.
God.
Yeah, it might happen. Or we might get Rock and Roman somehow. I don't know. The Rock's probably wrestling next year in Saudi Arabia. Anyway, uh, with all that being said, I'm gonna try to just keep my mind on Randy and Cody for at least this, for it the thing that's so annoying about it is because it's like everyone was so excited for this,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're just like, and now I'm not. You've taken away so much of my excitement. Um, but anyway, I think
But
Randy
also,
wins.
it's like now in a story that was about Cody and Randy, it is now about Pat McAfee.
That yes, it
And
was a
not
story that was
because
written
us
20
talking
years
about
ago
it, it's
in
because
itself.
Pat McAfee comes out and the story now says it's about Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
Like, that's what's annoying.
yeah. I mean,
It's
I
crazy.
could rant about this for hours. I'm
It's
just gonna
crazy.
get annoyed, but
I'm already annoyed.
yeah. But anyway, I'm picking Randy to get 15 here. Um,
Same.
Unfortunately, it's probably going to happen with the help of Pat McAfee. Um, I'm really hoping that it's at least just. I think the best case scenario is
Randy
like with.
turns on him
Oh well, yeah, that's the best case scenario.
post Mania
I
on
mean,
Raw
that
or
would be the best
SmackDown.
case scenario. Is Randy is like McAfee's like yelling at Randy, and then Randy just like RKO's McAfee and then still wins. That would be the best case scenario, probably. But I'm also like, in a scenario where McAfee helps Randy win, the best case scenario.
God.
Oh, bro, that's almost definitely
I
gonna
know,
happen.
but like, imagine Pat McAfee helping Randy Orton win a match.
Yeah, I mean, Travis Scott had to help John Cena do it last year.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, how funny is that? Travis Scott and Pat McAfee are the people that cost Cody Rhodes this title in the main events of WrestleMania. Um,
Well, there is something there. I meant to uh text you about that, but this is like the third WrestleMania in a row where Cody Rhodes' story has like an outside quote unquote celebrity or influence in his match. Because even like at 40, like The Rock was getting involved.
yeah,
I don't know
ridiculous, man.
WWE why they can't. Obviously, they're just like, yep, did it before. Let's
Um,
do it again.
yeah, I'm curious if like they're gonna set up like The Rock, Randy, and Pat McAfee as this like redo version of The Rock, Cena, and Travis Scott. Like,
Oh
um,
God, help us.
but anyway, I'm saying I think if McAfee is gonna help him win, I think the best case scenario is that it's a situation where I guess Randy's just like struggling to pull the trigger with like a punt kick or something, and McAfee's just like, do it, you got to get 15, do it," and then he does it. and that's like not really like McAfee like actually helping. It's just like Randy like struggling to like punt kick Cody or something, and then McAfee like convinces him to do it. Um, that
Well,
in my head is I'm like that's the best case scenario if it has to be McAfee being involved. Is that it's like he's not physically involved in any way, and he just like convinces Randy that he's got to punt kick Cody because Randy's struggling to do it or something.
so
Um, or I
but
like he punts Cody, then turns around RKO's Pat because he's like, "Yeah, I was gonna punt him anyway. You don't have to tell me what to do, bitch." Like that would be very much in character for Randy as well. So um, I guess the best case scenario is it's something like that, and then Pat is gone, and this was a one-off thing just to try to like
dear
just to
God.
sell more tickets for
But
Mania,
that would be
and
worse. That would make me even more mad.
I mean that would make you more mad than him sticking around. I mean I'm mad regardless, but I
I
think
mean, I don't know. It may make me more mad.
why would it make you more mad if he turned on him and immediately RKO'd him?
No, just the idea would make me mad of them just being
Oh
like,
yeah, the idea, but the idea has already happened. They
I
brought
know,
in Pat McAfee
I
to
know.
help sell tickets. So I'm just trying to maneuver around the idea. I trust me though, I'm just as annoyed with the idea as you are.
And I don't. It's just like
I see what you mean though. You're almost like it's almost not as a little bit not as bad if they wanted him to get
at
involved
least they could
anyway.
put at least they could put effort into it post where it's just like isn't so obvious that they were like, yep, we're gonna plot him in here because we think we need to boost ticket sales, and for some reason we think Pat McAfee is going to help us boost ticket sales for some reason. But
Yeah,
like,
sometimes you just need to hit the Control Alt Delete, brother. And I believe we might get one of those with Pat McAfee after Mania. That's wishful thinking, but I'd rather have that than try to make this make any more sense.
so what also made me mad was now we have Randy Orton and Pat McAfee merch, which is annoying. And it was like, I forget what it said on the back of Randy Orton's that they had on Randy Orton's shirt, but it was some like weird Pat McAfee thing. But then I was just like, God damn it. And then they did the thing that I hate the most, I think, in wrestling, which is a stolen item storyline. They stole the WWE Championship from Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
God, that's so lazy. And Pat McAfee's the one who took it. So, I don't know. Who knows? That's just like, ugh, very frustrating. I don't get it. I just don't get it. There's so many other things you could have done, or you could have just done nothing, and everything would have been a-okay. So that rounds up night one. Let us dive in to night two. Dylan, WWE Intercontinental 6-pack ladder match. You've got your champion Penta defending his title against Rey Mysterio, JD McDonough, Rusev, Dragon Lee, and your boy Bounty, Javon Evans. Who's walking out as your Intercontinental champion, Dylan?
So it's weird. Like if I had to physically put money on it, I'd probably put it on Penta retaining. Um Especially just being the situation that like they presented it on Raw where Penta wanted this ladder match for himself.
Mm-hmm.
Cero Miedo, he hasn't been
Zero
champion
fear.
for super long. But the fan in me has come out. I gotta do it. The boy is bouncy, and he's
Yes!
in a ladder match at WrestleMania. The
Yes!
young OG,
We are holding hands here, Dylan.
the young OG Javon Evans. I'm
He's getting
hoping
the win. He's
hoping he
getting
gets
the
the win here.
win.
The moment would be huge at WrestleMania, man. And man, if we're gonna start pushing this guy to become the next youngest world champion in WWE history, we gotta start racking up the accomplishments. So
Sure.
let's get him this IC title run.
Yeah.
And then I mean I would love a nice long run, even if it doesn't end up being a super long run or whatever. the win at Mania itself would just be so cool and worth it. So I'll try to remember that if he does win and then has a terrible loss like the next night with it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I gotta go with Javon Evans. I'm rooting for him way too hard to not pick him for the match. So
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel pretty good. I actually have a weird feeling Javon's going to win because
I think he definitely could. I will say this, like if I've been cutting you off a lot. I feel like sorry about that, but let me say this and then I'll let you finish your sentence. But I know I said like if I had to put my money on it, I'd put it on Penta retaining. But Javon Evans would be a close second. Like I think he is very.
well, yeah, Penta's probably the betting odds favorite.
I wouldn't be shocked at all if Javon wins, and he is the person I am rooting for. So
Yeah, I mean, Penta's probably like a plus 100 and like Javon's probably or minus
I'll tell you what
100.
though,
Javon's probably like plus 100.
is Rey Mysterio dark horse to win this match?
Yeah. I put him at third likely.
Yeah,
Tell you that much.
And I'll tell you what, a Ray win here would be a lot of fun.
I
mean,
you don't
it
got to
would-
convince me.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, there's a lot of really there's some fun options here. I mean, and to be honest, call me what you want. I don't know if I'd be super over the moon for a Dragon Lee win. But besides that, I'd be pretty okay with any of these people winning, including Rusev.
I'd be excited about a Dragon Lee win.
No, I'd be completely fine with the Dragon Lee win. I think he's just ranked 6 on my list on like
Okay.
who I would want to win. But I think
That's
a
fair.
Rusev win would be fun. I also think a JD McDonough win would be very interesting. I'm just saying, especially in the instance that he would now be going back to the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Dom was pissed at whatever Finn over the IC title. He lost it, and now JD is the one with it. So I think there's a lot of interesting directions they can go. But I'm definitely picking the young OG.
Same here. I'll take
We're gonna get a crazy spot from him, right, man? I mean, maybe a OG Cutter jumping off the top of the ladder or something.
We're getting multiple crazy spots throughout
Yeah.
the match. Definitely the OG Cutter from the ladder.
I think he's gonna do a springboard onto the top of the ladder. Like I think he's gonna do something. Like, know how people have done that, like off the ropes, they springboard onto the ladder and then climb up. Like,
Mhm.
I think he's gonna do one where he springboards and just lands like second to top rung, eye level with the person,
Dude, I think
and then they're gonna be like, "Boy, he is bouncy."
I feel like there's not an impossible chance that he just doesn't even use a ladder. He springboards and is like grabs the thing and is just like dangling on top
And then
of it,
just like does
and
the
then just
rope
rips the title.
and is like hanging from there holding the title,
Yeah.
dude.
I mean,
I hate
nothing's
it.
more bouncy than not needing a ladder.
That would be crazy.
He would literally bounce from the rope to the title.
But it would also be pretty devastating if he missed. And then went to grab it
Yeah.
and just completely ate shit.
Yeah.
That would be so embarrassing. But if
I
I
mean-
trust anyone to not do that, it's Javon Evans. So.
Yeah. I mean, that would be an insane thing to
The other
try
thing,
to
too, is
do.
it's like he's almost like, and I'm sure he does deal with it, but he appears as if he has no insecurity. And it's
And
just,
why should he? He's got nothing
No,
to be
I mean,
insecure
truly.
about.
truly, but it's like
He's got it
especially
all,
for a
man.
kid, but it's like I'm at what 21-year-old do you know that's not insecure? You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
it's like for him to be that age and to be so sure of who he is and what he's
Mhm.
capable of, it's just so impressive and like so it's admirable. I really hope he gets to win, man.
Yeah, I'm with you. So we're both are picking Javon Evans. This is a match that is free during the first hour of Night 2 on ESPN.
Yeah, if you're gonna watch anything, I would highly suggest watching this, man. This is
Mhm.
gonna be
And
ooh.
speaking of what you should watch, this is the second and final free match on ESPN, and that's Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi, Dylan.
Ooh.
I mean, you talk about the match I'm most excited for, and a match that I thought that I was not going to be excited for, and I didn't really want, and I'm still hesitantly optimistic. This match has quickly got me excited.
Oh my gosh. I mean, this might have the most buzz on the card as far as
It
as far
does
as like the crowd,
100%.
the way the crowd is reacting for this match right now, I mean, Obafemi is over the moon. I will tell you this: if they went into this storyline going, all right, we'll have Oba look really good and then have Brock come out on top at Mania, how can you not second guess it? Like, if that
No,
was your, like, that's like, you cannot, even if they were pretty sure of having Brock be the winner going into this storyline, at this point, I mean, you have to, like, they can't not highly consider putting over Obafemi right
I don't
now.
know
I
how
mean,
you can't.
I agree. I mean, the only way is like this is just wishful thinking because I know what they do with Brock is that, or no, this isn't wishful thinking because it would suck. Um, would be Brock winning here, and then I've mentioned this before, and then Minnesota WrestleMania, Brock's home state, Ober retires him. But it also feels like they've got the career killer. Why not just have Gunther do it at that point? But also, I mean, how many careers does he have to kill? Let's give somebody else. Let's give somebody else the rub.
He's killing all of them, dude.
That's what I mean. Let's give somebody else the rub, please. Anyway, I'm saying he doesn't need to kill any more careers. Gunther is over. He's very strong. He's very powerful. He's not like let's have somebody else benefit from retiring somebody. With all that being said, I gotta pick Oba. Can't not pick Oba.
Yeah.
The ruler, he has been an absolute menace in all his appearances face to face with Brock Lesnar thus far. It's pretty insane. So,
I
yeah.
wonder if he is scheduled for. Oh, they both will be live on Raw tonight.
Yeah, I did know that. So it'll be interesting.
I wonder if they'll try to get them to sign the contract.
Yeah, maybe they'll do something like yeah, I'm interested to what they'll try to
I mean,
do.
Raw's going to be pretty huge. They only have 3 things announced so far, and it's Seth Rollins and Gunther under one roof. Obafemi and Brock Lesnar will be live, and Roman Reigns wants to send a message to CM Punk. So it's going to be
pretty epic.
Action-packed episode of Raw. All right, Dylan, now that the people have to pay to watch the rest of WrestleMania, let's get into this first match.
Well, you just got to give me you didn't give us your pick. You picking Oba?
Oh, yes, of course I'm picking Oba.
Sorry.
You think I'm picking Brock Lesnar?
I didn't think so. I thought it was pretty obvious. You didn't even really
catch
need to say it. I
couldn't
just
catch me dead picking Brock Lesnar. That being said, there is probably a fairly decent shot that Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, let's hope not. But yeah.
All right, Dylan. This is one of the more questionable matches and storylines over the past couple of weeks, and that is the United States Championship match. Your champion, Sami Zayn. Weird spot for Sami Zayn is defending against Trick Williams with Lil Yachty. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the segment from this past Friday night SmackDown.
I didn't see all of it.
It was a weird one.
No, it was weird. Got a haluva kick to Lil Yachty. Also,
he's applauding.
A little bit of a golf clap for Lil Yachty on that. He took that haluva kick like a champ. That was great. I thought the way he immediately just fell like face first and like took like essentially just like a face bump. After that was pretty good. I thought it was. He looked believably like he got clocked in the face.
Yeah.
So good work, Lil Yachty. I mean, yeah, I'll be really interesting. I mean, you brought this up to me through text, I think, but I think a double turn is definitely on the table here at Mania.
I just don't think that I don't think they do that.
I mean, the more likely scenario is that Trick just wins.
Yeah. Trick's gonna kick the shit out of him.
I'm picking Trick. You're going to pick Trick as well. But I just think it's interesting with the situation they put Sami in, and that the fans aren't super happy with Sami.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean.
Say that again.
I think a double turn would be interesting, and Trick Williams is so over. They're not going to have a choice but to turn him babyface at a certain point.
Well,
Um, and I
they just
understand part of Trick's thing is that he's like a cocky, arrogant.
just
Like
don't let him do whatever he's doing, right? They don't need to try to
no, they
officially
won't.
turn
I don't.
him
And
babyface. Just
they
let him
won't.
do what he's doing.
They will. They're just going to put him in a situation to where he's now against people that are heel. Like that.
Yeah.
That's usually what it is. Like he's.
But
Just,
like, don't change up the way he's like talking or the stuff that he says.
they won't. They won't.
Okay.
Because they did. I was going to say the. I have faith that they won't do that because my whole worry with that was they would do that with LA Knight and they would do it with Jay, and they haven't. And I so now I have at least a good amount of faith that once they see that reaction, that they're just like, okay, let's just take what we have and put it in a better situation rather than maneuver with what we have anymore. At least with what we've seen over the last couple of years. I have a bit of faith in that, at least. So we'll see.
Yeah, it was weird. I wanted to bring up the Sammy segment because it was weird because obviously he's getting booed the second week in a row, and he kind of cut like this babyface promo but just getting booed the whole time. And then it was like by the end of it, you're just like supposed to kind of be rallying behind Sami Zayn, and then it just like wasn't working because everyone still was booing him, and it was just like very, very weird. So I think like
it's their own fault for putting him in this situation.
yeah, and then you have Mello get the rematch just to lose
again in not the
super,
cleanest way. It wasn't clean as a whistle.
dirty.
No, it wasn't super dirty, but it wasn't clean as a whistle either. It left something for people to be like, well, what the hell was that? Like,
yeah, but it was like, I mean, and I believe it was either Mello or Tricker said it, but it was just more of Sammy being an opportunist instead of him being like a full-on heel. You know?
Yeah.
He didn't like kick him in the yam bags. It was just
no.
Kind of hit him with the cheap shot. Did what he did to have to get the win, but
yeah, totally. But it was, but still.
I mean, listen, I will say this.
I think a double turn is 100% on the table.
It's on the table. I just don't know how you turn Trick. Like, what do they do for Trick?
What do you mean? He's already getting cheered up. They don't even have to do anything.
Okay. Well, no, that's why I'm like, what does Trick do something to do the babyface turn?
No, I think it would be more of a situation of where Sammy is the heel now.
Okay.
And it's like, sorry, yeah, I should have been a little bit more clear with that. I don't think Trick is going to have to do much of anything.
Oh, it doesn't have to do anything at all but win.
That's what I think.
Wins,
but that's what
a babyface.
Well, I think it's maybe a situation where Sammy is potentially going to cheat, or Sammy low blows Trick, and then Trick still comes out on top, or Sammy's about to use a chair and Lil Yachty takes it from Sammy, and Sammy's like all pissed, and then Sammy like whatever beats up Lil Yachty again, and then Trick wins. Like I think it's going to be very much something as I think the easiest way to do it would be Sammy is going to cheat, or Sammy has low blowed or already cheated against Trick. So you have that established, that Sammy is now using heel tactics to try to get this win. And then he's going to like beat the hell out of like Lil Yachty or something. And then Trick saves Lil Yachty. Trick shot, new champ. Successful double turn.
Yeah. Sorry, it's just really funny just hearing you break down this wrestling storyline and just keep having to mention Lil Yachty. But Lil Yachty's great.
I don't think you would have to mention him much further out than this.
No, I mean like listening to you explain it.
Oh, it's just funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, Dylan. I'm not saying I want this, but if WWE wants to go all in on this heel Sami Zayn, there's not people who will be more hated than Sami Zayn if he wins. That's all I'm
Uh,
saying.
yeah, I think that's the other thing is they just need to like
If they want to turn him heel, Yambag City,
they need to turn him heel or put him in or stop putting him in these situations.
dude. Exactly. And I think like a heel Sami Zayn's interesting, and it would be fun. And it's
Totally,
like, and that's a heel, right?
100%.
That's a pure heel. That's not a heel that we like to boo. That's a heel that we don't like because of everything that's happening, and those are rare these days. But I'm taking Trick Williams. Dylan, you're taking Trick Williams. Let's move on to the next match.
Yeah, and
And that
then sorry, real quick, and then they could just fully lean into the Sammy taking away spots from up and comers thing. Like
It's how you
fully lean
stop
in.
doing the open challenges.
Yeah, like fully lean into the. I took the spot from Mello. I took it from Trick. I don't want like. I deserve it. Nobody else deserves it. Like that. So you
Mm-hmm.
lean fully into that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, move on. Both picking a Trick win.
Yes, sir. All right. WWE Women's Championship match. Dylan, your champion Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. Um, yeah, this has been an interesting build to this match.
Dude, it's weird. I don't even want to talk about it that much. Like, because it's just been, like, weird. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just weird, and I'm kind of ready for it to be over with. Because
Oh, I'm
it
ready.
hasn't been fun. It's just been uncomfortable to watch on screen. And we've talked about it plenty before, I think, already. That's the thing is, like, has this gotten any more comfortable for you to watch?
No.
No, me neither. I mean,
And it's more so now. I kind of have come to the decision that WWE just put Mishin and BFAB in this just to give Rhea something to do.
yeah, for the next few
Like,
weeks.
yeah, because then it was just like, all right, Rhea versus Mishin. Okay, next week Rhea versus BFAB. Okay, that gave us a few weeks. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Um,
Jay doesn't need a faction.
yeah, and I will say, and it's also, I don't know if it's the way it's played out has also not made me feel better about picking either one of them. I don't think either one of them stand out as the obvious pick to win this. Um, I'm
Interesting.
picking Rhea,
Okay.
just because I think Jade's been champion for a bit now. Mania, Rhea hasn't had the title in quite a while. And then I also think Rhea being champion over on SmackDown, over on that side, could really freshen things up. Um,
They need it.
so, um, and then I think you also have Damien and Rhea back on the same brand that you could always interact with something with them as well. So, I think it opens things up a bit more to bring Rhea back over to SmackDown as well as the champ. So, yeah, I'm taking Rhea.
Yeah, I mean, nothing that has happened has made me believe more strongly that one person or the other is going to win. I always just felt pretty confident that Rhea's going to win because despite
I
the
just never
booking,
felt one way or the other.
I always felt like Rhea was going to win. Once this
Interesting.
match
Okay.
happened, I was like, yeah,
I
Rhea's
guess
going to win.
especially if they
Because,
take the tag titles off her and EO
well,
to put her
and
in this spot.
despite like us trying to not view the titles like that, but it's like the WWE championships for the men and the women hold more weight than the world championships do. So it's like, all right, you put
I
the
don't know if you can
WWE
say that
championship.
anymore.
I think you can.
I mean, the world title's main eventing night too.
I mean, it's on its way. I mean,
That's
it's
a,
on its
I
way to
mean,
getting
you're
equal.
there is in no there is you are 100% not wrong in that. Is at least been that way. I haven't necessarily felt that way. I haven't felt quite that way for the women's though. I always felt like the
Interesting.
women's were pretty equal
Okay.
because it wasn't the same situation to whereas in
Yeah.
like they were combined and then when I think of the big gold white belt, I think of Rhea. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
also like well, yeah, she's not the secondary champ, it's Rhea. So,
Yeah.
um but 100% I would definitely agree with the WWE championship, but hopefully they're doing better. Hopefully this putting it on Roman and potentially and having it main event night 2 is the start of it being
Mm-hmm.
equal.
And if Liv wins the Women's World Championship,
Yeah.
that would even get those closer. And also, I think it's also WWE more so not viewing them the same.
Oh no, totally. It's
Um,
100%.
like them, like Rhea winning the WWE Championship, I think they would think is a bigger deal than her winning the Women's World Championship.
Interesting. I think they view it very equal.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
I think they maybe view it differently for the men, but I probably view it differently for the men. But I think the women's is pretty equal. Just being
Okay.
that like the men's one was literally created because Roman was a double champ, and
Mhm.
where the women's ones were more just kind of like transitioned from the SmackDown and Raw into
Yeah.
what they are now.
All right. Fair enough.
There's no argument to be made though, Mark. You definitely have
And
weight
they're making
weight
progress.
behind your thing.
They're making progress to even them out. So let's get into Demon Finn Balor versus Dirty Dominic
Once again,
Mysterio.
just didn't need to announce it. Would have been super cool to have Finn Balor. And then, like, I don't know. Did they think this was going to help sales? Were they like, well, now we'll be able to sell some more tickets? We got the Demon.
Part of me thinks maybe they're holding it a secret, and then once ticket sales were bad, they were like, all right, let's try to do something. And that something was announce it.
Yeah. No, I don't know, man. I think it's not even tickets. I think it's just to get people excited for the match.
I mean, I don't. Did this get you more excited?
Because they did it. Because this isn't the first time they've done that. Like they've like constantly been announcing the Demon as like the last several times he's done it. Which is just weird to me. I'm just like, it would just be cooler if it's just a surprise.
Does it get you more excited that it's the Demon than if it was just Finn and not knowing?
No, not really.
Yeah, I agree. I would have gotten more excited thinking there was a chance that it could be Demon
Yeah.
Finn.
Yeah, I think that's like I think, and then it would have been kind of a bummer if it wasn't, but whatever. I think
it would have. It wouldn't have been a huge letdown.
But now it's just like, I mean, it's cool. Like I'm not excited. Like, and if it's like, if you have to choose like, all right, regular Finn or Demon Finn, but it has to get announced before, I'd probably pick the Demon in this situation.
Okay.
I wouldn't always pick the Demon. I think. But in this situation, I would say, yeah, it's been a while. It's been multiple years, I think. So
couldn't even tell you the last time.
I think the last time was against Edge in that Hell in a Cell match. So, yeah, the big thing we don't need to talk about. I mean, we really harped on this on the last episode about how they just do not need to announce it, and Finn has been public about how he thinks it's lame that they do that, and he wishes that they would just let him make it a surprise. With that being said, it's got to be Finn here, dude. It's got to be Finn. Finn needs to win. It's as much as I love Dom. Dom got a big win last year, pinning Finn. And Dom has really gotten a lot of, even though he recently lost the IC title, Dom has pretty much been on top of the world, in my opinion. Like, Dom has been in great standing moving forward, and I think Finn really needs this win. So I got to go Finn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's tough because it would like, again, it kind of just goes back to like, if they really want to push more chips into Dom being a heel, then you have him beat Demon Finn Balor. Obviously, there's going to be some shenanigans involved, but then maybe JD is too hurt from the ladder match to be able to help Dom, so then he's going to have to do it on his own.
Yeah, I'd be interesting. Part of me thinks they put JD in the ladder match to kind of take him out of the equation for this.
Yeah. So, I'm going to go Dom. I'm going to go Dom here.
Interesting. Okay.
It's a bit of a toss-up for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be super shocked either way. I just think Finn needs it more, so I'm going to go with Finn.
Oh, he definitely does.
But they love Dom, so I wouldn't be surprised if
as they should. As they should, but nothing will fizzle out Finn Balor quite like having the Demon return just to lose.
Yeah.
All right, last, but certainly not least, Dylan, That is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. CM Punk defending his title against Roman Reigns. Dylan, who's walking out night 2, the main event of WrestleMania, as your World Heavyweight Champion of the world?
I mean, the Tribal Chief, man, Roman Reigns. I actually don't know if there's a single match on this card that I'm more confident in the result of.
Wow. Okay.
Just like from I'd be shocked if Punk, dude, I would be shocked beyond all belief if Punk wins.
Okay.
Yeah, Roman.
Okay. I'm taking Roman too.
Yeah.
But I think that Seth calls Punk.
Interesting.
Yeesh.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I just think they've moved on a little. Not like permanently, but for now.
I hope so. I mean, I hope you're right, but it's just like Seth, it's the title that he never lost. And I know he had the agenda of first destroy the Vision and then get back the title. But also, it's like, there's nothing more that Seth Rollins hates than CM Punk. And Seth Rollins said as long as he and CM Punk are in the same company, CM Punk will not be world champion.
I agree, but it's like also the big thing is it's like Roman is the one guy it almost doesn't make sense for him to help. Like,
yeah, I just think his anger towards CM Punk will outweigh his hate for, like, I think he hates CM Punk more than he hates Roman Reigns, and I think it would be less of helping Roman and more of him wanting to hurt CM Punk.
No, I totally get where you're coming from. Interesting. It's definitely, I could definitely see it happening. I'm gonna pick it. I'm hoping it doesn't.
I would agree.
I'm hoping we're getting a pretty clean match.
You think Jay helps Roman win?
No, I think it's a pretty one-on-one match, man.
Okay. I hope you're right. And it should be.
Yeah, I think it's
it should be.
I think it's pretty much one-on-one, and then Roman gets the win.
All right. Well, you heard it here first, folks.
I think I'll say this, too. When's the last time we've got a clear, concise Roman Reigns title victory?
It's been a while.
Been a long time. So
it's been a very
I think it's about time we get a Roman Reigns clean championship win.
Yeah, I would agree with you big time there, Dylan. So that's going to wrap up this episode of the podcast, people. Obviously, it's the biggest show of the year in WrestleMania, so be on the lookout for post-WrestleMania when we talk about everything that happened. I'm assuming that the landscape of WWE is going to shift following this. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, click that like button, and click that bell so you get notified every single time that we upload a brand new video. And we post the video on Spotify. So if you are listening on Spotify and you want to watch it, you can do that too. With that being said, I'm Mark Izzo, he's Dylan O'Brien, and this has been another episode of the Burning Hammer Podcast. We'll catch you in the next one.